Going live from the launch site here. It is raining. It's been raining for a while apparently, and I got back in town yesterday. Hey Carl, good morning. Nice to see you. It just picked up raining here. Hey Tom, good morning. Yeah, that's the sound of rain again. Yep. Hey Sodak, yeah, it's windy. I get a little zoom going on here. Let's see. Hey Tony, yeah, good morning. There's a bunch of vehicles over at the main gate here, so I didn't park over there. I may go over there a little later, but yeah, oh yeah. Today the road closure was canceled, and there's nothing else planned for this week. So Monday next week is the next road closure. I saw that too, Tom. Good point. Good point. I took some video of the remote camera site this morning, just to show how much water there is. I will be uploading that. If you're a member, you'll be able to see that. Since it's the camera site, I'm going to keep that private. I keep it members only, but look out for that. That's I think uploading right now as we speak, so we may be getting a little bit less quality here on this live stream because that's uploading at the same time. Yeah, several feet of water, lots of water. I actually took the solar panels and some of the other stuff at the remote camera site, and I lifted them up even more off the ground because the water was starting to get close to a little bit too close underneath, you know, too high. The water's really piling up. I don't know how many days it's been raining here. If you've been following the launch site, let me know how many days it's been raining. But I plan to figure that out today, see how much longer this rain is supposed to last. Yeah, I don't know, Tom. I'm not tuning into that stuff right now as far as what I can perceive, but maybe this water would be good for the water would be good for a launch because, you know, it would protect the surrounding land from catching fire. As far as the booster and the Starship and everything else, I would imagine it would be good if it weren't raining, so that there wouldn't be any extra weight on top of the Starship and the rocket and everything else, you know. But other than that, you know, maybe they're ready to do a launch. I don't know. I think they still have to do the. Last I heard, they haven't done a full static fire of the booster yet. Hey, Gator, thank you so much. Good stuff. Thank you. But the water here might be a good thing for launch. Tom says, I pulled up another site on Saturday evening and it appeared just start raining there in the cam. Okay, cool. But Gator, thanks so cool. Thank you so much. All right, let's see, water. Yeah, I've been working out in Georgia for the last week, and it was going to go another 2 weeks, but I think the campaign ran out of money as far as wanting to pay people to keep doing what we were doing. So I came back a couple weeks early. Okay, Carl says they did a 14-engine static fire a week ago. Okay, so the next is maybe even closer to the 33. Did anything show up with that static fire as far as any errors or anything they needed to, any problems they need to fix? I'm inside my truck here, shooting out the window. I've got the window down, so, and that's a little bit you're seeing on the top right. I was working for the Herschel Walker camp, not for the campaign, but for a super PAC that was in support of the campaign. So you can't work directly for a campaign to do what we're doing, but a super PAC. Carl says no engine problems, just pad surface spalling. I'm not sure what spalling means, but that's cool. Maybe too much heat on the pad or something. Yeah, there are different people who want to support different campaigns, so they can only give so much money to the campaign, but they can give money to other organizations to hand out flyers or do whatever, or knock on doors. So I've been handing out flyers and knocking on doors for a super PAC out in Georgia, and there's going to be some other stuff in got scorched, says Tom. Pad got too scorched. All right, well, maybe with this rain it'd be beneficial. I don't know. Yeah, I wonder what some of the technical stuff for that is. If they're going to do a 33 engine, you know, how much more heat on the pad is that going to be? You know, it's pretty interesting stuff. Okay, so the weather here, thanks Tony, good stuff. Rain with temperatures of 52 degrees Fahrenheit, and the wind is blowing from the northwest at 17 miles an hour. Northwest, okay, 27 kilometers, and the current humidity is 100%. So yeah, it's very moist. So the wind's coming from the opposite direction than it normally does during the summer. From the summer, it comes from the southeast, and now we're getting from the northwest. So kind of opposite direction for the wind. The banana tree I have in my property is doing great. More than half of the property is submerged underwater. So we've been getting a lot of rain, and it was cold last night. I got to get a sleeping bag or something, so slept in the truck last night. I may be going to Florida in a week or 2 weeks or something like that. Maybe 9 days. I don't know. There's if you're looking for work, there are people out in Florida who are petitioning to add marijuana, make it legal in Florida. So if I were to do that, I would make as much money as I did last week. I made $1,000 last week doing the Herschel Walker flyers with about 55 other people. But there's going to be money out in Florida through February, passing out or getting signatures to get marijuana on the ballot or something like that. So I don't smoke or I don't do anything like that, but if someone's willing to pay me to do it, and it'd be over $1,000 a week, it'd be worth doing. So if you know of any other work where I could do make over $1,000 a week, let me know. I don't have to be doing these campaigns or stuff like that, but and I could do that with my YouTube stuff. I would just need to do a lot more editing. The way Fidias was doing it, he has a course. The gentleman who was here, who left a couple days ago, he has over 1 million subscribers, and he also has one of his videos. He has kind of a step-by-step lesson guide on how to succeed on YouTube, you know, and get, you know, do well with your videos and how to cut them and edit them and everything else. So I bought that from him, and so I'm a member, and I've been watching those videos. So there's a lot more I can do with the videos, and I can make it work. It doesn't have to be only space focused, but some of the other stuff I've done recently is I incorporated the okay, so I spoke about this a little bit before I left for Georgia, but I incorporated another company, and it's intertwined, or it's going to work with this company, Ocean Cam. It's called Tony says 52 degrees Fahrenheit in the UK and more rain to come. Just like here. Wow. Yeah, so the name of the other company is called Embryo Space Inc. and it's officially a corporation out of Delaware. So for over a year, I've been wanting to incorporate maybe in Delaware if I can make enough money and be able to afford the incorporation, the cost to incorporate. So since I've been working and making money like $1,000 a week for the last almost 2.5 to 3 months, I've been able to pay down a lot of debt, and also to I have like much less on my credit cards than I had before, and I've paid off a few thousand on the property. I was able to spend a little money and incorporate that other company out of Texas, out of Delaware. So it's called Embryo Space Inc. And if you look up embryo space colonization, it's the idea of sending, I have a lot of medical and natural healing and all that kind of stuff in my background. So, and my dad was a medical doctor and my mom was a nurse, and I've followed stem cell technology and all kind of stuff. So the idea with, if you look up embryo space colonization on Wikipedia or even on YouTube, you'll learn more about what the concept of that is. And a few months ago, I looked up the name in the State Corporation Commission out of Delaware for Embryo Space, and it was available. So the name had come to mind out of just thinking about certain things. And so I looked up the name, and then I found it on Wikipedia and everything else. And it would be a further derivation of the OceanCam mission. First, you have to find water. You got to find a place where it's suitable and to send an embryo. So you could use some type of robotics and medical space technology, artificial intelligence and all that kind of stuff, to send, instead of sending a human to these different locations throughout the universe or the galaxy, the solar system, you can send an embryo, maybe a fertilized embryo, or maybe you can even use embryonic stem cells, or I don't know, but there's a lot of technology that can be, so that's a type of development which would be a lot more exciting to a lot of people than just only the OceanCam mission of taking video surface photography and underneath and collecting the water. So the two companies, the two missions will work together, I believe, and it's going to make things a lot more exciting and possible here on the Earth financially, as far as buying businesses and making, having product. So Carl says, random fact, Delaware got its name from my family. Oh my God. Sir Thomas West, 2nd Baron Delaware, the state Indian tribe and river are named after him. Let me read that again. Carl says, the Delaware got its name from my family, Sir Thomas West, Carl West, Sir Thomas West, 2nd Baron Delaware, the state Indian tribe and river are named after him. So the 2nd Baron Delaware. Interesting. Wow. The state Indian tribe and the river are named after your family. Awesome. Wow. I had to read that a few times just so everybody could understand what it was in the future. Thanks, Carl. That's awesome. So I don't know what else there is to see, at least of what we're looking at here, but we got a little chat going. We got a chat. Sorry about that. Just hit the camera tripod. Let's see. Zoom in this way. So the time now is about 9:31, 9:32 a.m. in the morning on November 22nd, 2022. I don't see anyone working on the over-launch platform. It's, I believe, probably too windy for any lifts to be doing anything. There is a lot of clouds and rain. I don't see any trucks. Pretty much a standstill here on the site as far as I can see from this spot. I can get over there to the main gate here and check some stuff out, but there are some trucks over there, so there are people on site, but I don't see a lot of activity going on. I haven't checked out the weather for the rest of the week either, but see if I can get a shot of the base here, the over launch platform. Maybe everybody's in Florida working on the other launch site. Yeah, Sir Carl West from now on. That's a good one, Tony. Tony says, Sir Carl West. Let me zoom out. That's such a cool shot there. Yeah, adjust the camera here a little bit. Yeah, the rain is pretty heavy. Okay, some of the tarps have flown away. Carl says, good stuff. What were they using the tarps for? Maybe just to work so there wasn't as much rain on them when they're working? So I was over in Portland, Oregon for about I believe it was like 3 weeks or something like that. And then I came back for maybe 3 or so days, and then I flew out to Georgia for a week, and now I'm back. So I'll be here at least through next Tuesday, and I've got to go to court for something on next Tuesday. Yeah, when's the rain? Arlen says, Jobert, when's the rain planned to stop for the next, maybe a 10-day forecast, if anyone has it, for the rain? I gotta get a sleeping bag or something. Even though I'm in the truck, I need some. I'm gonna go to Walmart and get a sleeping bag today or something. Yeah. I was driving to about a month ago, I was driving to out over a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, I was driving out to the western part of Texas here, and Michael Beck from Yakima, Washington. Oh, wow. How you doing? Was driving out to Roma, Texas, about a 2.5-hour ride in the morning. And it was about 4 in the morning when I was driving, and I didn't see the lower speed as I entered through a town called Rio Grande, Texas. And I was going 69 and a 55, 65, 75. I was going 50. It may have been a 45, 50, 65. No, It was a 50. It must have been. Yeah, it must have been 45. Yeah, 45. It was a 45 speed limit, and I was doing 69. So most of the, a lot of the highway is around 70 miles an hour on the way to Roma. And then I didn't notice some of the, at 4 in the morning, some of the 45 mile an hour speed limit signs. So I was going 69 in 45. So about 24 miles over the speed limit. And I think if you take a driving course here in Texas, Short Aristocrat, hey, if you take a driving course once a year, you can sometimes, apparently, I haven't gotten a ticket before in a long time, but you can maybe get out of a ticket. So I took a 6-hour driving course online, state approved, and that might be able to save me the $200 on the ticket. Yeah. Yeah, that name, Short Aristocrat, that's a good name, you know. Never heard that before. I'll probably do another 5 minutes here, unless something happens or something, and then move on. Sure. Oh, Mixed TV is Short Aristocrat. I got you. Yeah, I know the name Mixed TV. Sure. All right, good stuff. Good for you. That's a good name. I don't know how the other photographers are doing. I did hear they're putting some type of cladding on something over here. I heard there was some other type of metal or something being added to the sides of something over here. Briefly on Facebook a couple days ago. I'm surprised it's so cold and wet here. I know last year I was renting an apartment here at Make MSX in Brownsville, so I was coming out. I wasn't exposed to the nighttime so much here during the winter last year. I know it got cold at night, but there's a lot of water out here. But I did hear about some type of cladding on the tower, which I don't see it from here. Maybe it's on the, maybe they're talking about on the legs of the orbital launch platform, or I'll have to look more and see what people are saying about it. But Let me get a shot on the top there. Let me, to the base of the tower. Okay, okay. Let me do some shots down there. Okay, can we see any of that cladding from here, or is that from a different angle? Hey, Julian. Carl says they're still on the first section putting sheet cladding on. Looks like they've prepped the first 3 sections for it at this point. Okay, wow. Tony says adding some cladding to the base. Okay. Maybe from the main gate, or from the spot where the Lab Padre cams are on the side there. Maybe from over there they could see that. Okay, Tom says the cladding is on the left of the shot at the bottom of the tower. Okay. Okay. Carl says that is the cladding, about 4 sheets of it on the tower, on the lower right on the tower. All right, let me check that out. Okay, and there's some more at the launch site waiting to be put up. Okay, good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. So that's gonna be fun to watch as they add it, something new. Hey, Michael. And I go up the tower. Kind of reminds me of Portland, Oregon, all that cloudy stuff. There was a lot of that if you're looking for the bridges over there in Oregon. Yeah, I've never. Tony says it's the first time I've seen the chopsticks lift up so high and closed. Yeah, I've never seen them close like that and up that high, just left up like that. It's an interesting way of storing them, huh? Maybe down lower they were afraid. Maybe if it were too windy, they would hit the booster or something. I don't know. Just a guess. Yeah, the clouds are moving fast. If you're into, there's something in yoga called pranayama. It's where you, it's called rapid diaphragmatic breathing. And I'm pretty sure the air up there is some good air. So if you were able to get up there, I mean, if SpaceX had some type of yoga allotment where you could go up the tower and do some rapid diaphragmatic breathing, that would probably be pretty healthy. I'm pretty sure that's not why they made the tower so high, and but it would be something. It's, Yep, tower bungee jumping, huh? Yep. Yeah. Maybe if they put a big cake, a big cake at the bottom, and when you bungee jumped, you would get dunked into the cake. That'd be kind of cool. Okay, Carl says the proposed road closings skip the Thanksgiving period, but it's the rain shutting the site down right now. Okay, yeah, okay. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Tom says, did you get to watch the Artemis launch? I didn't watch it live. I watched a few clips, but yeah, it's something I should watch today. Yeah, I've been working a lot the last 6 days, so I haven't really done much else. But thanks. I'll take a look. I watched a little bit where it was launching off the launch pad. Good for them. I mean, that's kind of exciting, huh? Apparently it's at the moon or something right now, in orbit or something. I gotta catch up on some of that. It's but for me, I just remember that NASA is just another name for the U.S. Government, and so Alan Craddock says, hi Paul, looks like the English weather in the UK. I guess they get a lot of this type of stuff. Yep. Cold. I planted a orange tree today. I bought every time I make a bunch of money or something like that from working, take a little bit of that and either buy some silver. I bought some silver last week from the previous job paycheck, and this week I bought an orange tree in addition to some other stuff, and paid off some debt. Tom says it's making its loop to come back. The loop is going to take a few days before it's sent home. So Tom, I heard, or I saw like some type of clip that said they had some lunar rock from the Apollo missions in, on the ship or something. How did that happen? How did they land already, collect something, and already launch off the moon? I would have imagined if it landed on the moon already, they would have made a big deal about it. But how do they collect rock from the Apollo mission and already have it in the ship? And so you're saying they're heading back to Earth already? Are they not going to land on the moon, or? What I do recall learning about the Artemis missions is each mission costs like several billion dollars, and there's going to be at least 9 missions. So 9 over many years. They're going to spend several billion dollars on each mission and there are 9 ships. I mean, at least 9 different Artemis ships. And maybe it's the 3rd one that lands on the moon. I don't remember, but is unmanned. So the first few are unmanned, and then maybe the 3rd one or something has I don't know, but pretty interesting stuff. Okay, Tom says no landing until 2025. The first 2 are just flybys. Okay, flybys. So did they collect any of the soil from the moon, or was that just some weird thing that I was seeing in a, get some other shots here. Looks like there's a, I'm gonna move the camera to the right here just so you get a shot of this. There is a tour van coming by here. I guess a bunch of people in a van there. With a bunch of people in it. I guess somebody's doing a tour. We got tours here at OceanCam too. OceanX on the OceanCam website. Let's see, what was that comment? Okay, Tom says the soil is probably from the Apollo program. How did they get the Apollo program soil onto the Artemis 1 ship? Is that something they did? And if they did, how did they do that? Was there like a lander left on the moon that they launched up and they're intercepting it with the Artemis mission or something? Yeah, but yeah, it's just for me, anytime I hear the word NASA, I think of U.S. government and I think of secret projects and other stuff like that. And okay, Tom says it's on display at the Cape. Okay, so the shots of the moon regolith on some type of vehicle was not out there in space. It was Tom says on display at the Cape. Okay, thanks. That clears that up. Again, Tom Sicoli, it says no landing, or Chicoli, no landing until 2025. The first 2 Artemis missions are just flybys. Good, and they're unmanned as far as I understand, so that's kind of cool. Tony says the closest Orion got to the moon was 80 kilometers from its surface. Interesting. 80 kilometers. 1,000 meters. Okay, Carl says it was loaded on Earth, then sent on Artemis for the ride. Doesn't have a real purpose, it's just something they did. Interesting. So they took some lunar soil from the Apollo mission and they put it on the Artemis going back around the moon. That's pretty interesting. There's got to be a reason why they did that. Tom says the second one will be manned with a crew of 4, so Artemis 2 will be manned. Huh. I was someone did a video about the pyramids, and apparently there's some type of they can make that granite-like stone out of some lime and some clay and some other material. So it's pretty interesting that there is some type of credibility to the idea that they it was what appears to be some granite is maybe a mixture of things that form like a cement. Pretty interesting. I saw that video this morning. Mule Skinner says, Mule Skinner film, for luck, I'd imagine, why they sent that soil back to the, not soil, but rock or whatever you call it, back to the moon. Interesting. Cool. I'm going to wind it up here in the next minute. Call it a day for this shot here. Regolith is Carl says regolith is what they call it. I think, yeah, regolith. Huh. Yeah, I know crystals grow differently in space, and as well as I'll say a few more things. Crystals grow differently in space, as well as molten metal hardens differently in space. It's much harder and much lighter if you have some molten. This is just a regurgitation of some stuff I heard a while back. If you were to smelt metal in space, it wouldn't have the gravity fractures from the different types of elements forming throughout the metal. So you would be much stronger and much lighter metal if you melted it and smelted it in space. So also crystals form differently, maybe larger in space. And hormones, if you were to extract some hormones from a human, take it into space and replicate that, reproduce that hormones in space, they're much stronger hormones. And then I've also heard that people heal much faster in space. So what NASA or the US government is doing in space with the regolith on the Artemis mission, you got to remember, to get into the NASA program, you have to have a security clearance and other stuff. To work at SpaceX in some of the areas, you need a security clearance. So NASA is just another word for the US government. And in the US government, there are many different departments and groups. So what they're doing in space on the Artemis mission is, it's definitely up for grabs as far as the public versus the military purpose of the Artemis mission. So just keep that in mind. All right, and Ocean Camera Space Corp is the company here, and Embryo Space Inc is the new Delaware company. And if you think about that, hormones and all the other stuff, medical stuff, and melting, smelting, or casting metal in space, all those things can get rolled into the Embryo Space mission. Look it up on YouTube, on Wikipedia, Embryo Space Colonization, and that's the second company that I just formed out of Delaware. So, other than that, if you have anything to say, you see Carl West says, metal on metal can hold weld in space too, almost caused an incident on the first spacewalk. Wow, door hinges cold welded together. Well, that's awesome. Metal to metal, metal on metal can cold weld in space. Metal on metal can cold weld. Cold weld. I gotta look into that. Thanks, Carl. That's awesome. Yeah, if anything else, I'll stay on for another couple minutes if you have anything you want to throw into the mix. It's getting cold here. It's rainy. Just starting the day. I may do another video this afternoon, but probably there's a good chance I'll do another video as I normally do in the morning and the evenings. See if it keeps raining. I'm gonna check up on the weather. This is my first I got in 2 nights ago, I believe it was. I'm not sure when I got in. I got in Sunday night, I believe it was. So it's Monday. So last night. I think it may have been last night. No, 2 nights ago. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. All right. Anyway, okay, Tom says, with all this rain, I would not be surprised if all 33 engine static fire happens after the holiday with the wet ground. Yeah, and I was predicting, or I had I felt using the force that December 5th might be the launch, possible launch. Several months ago, I got that intuition, but we'll see how it turns out. In the next few days, I'll know what my path is going to be for the next going forward into December. I gotta just make some decisions and stuff like that. But today's my first real day. Yesterday I remember I was going around town buying things that I would need since I just got in the night before. So it was 2 nights ago that I got in from Georgia. All right. Other than that, it's a wet Monday morning here in Boca Chica, Starbase, Texas, South Texas. All right, thanks for tuning in. My name is Paul Mamakos with Ocean Camera Space Corp. Hey Juan, nice to see you. Good morning. Rodriguez. Yep. Yeah, Tony, everybody. Not everybody, but thanks for tuning in. Thanks for chatting. It's been fun. See what happens this week. Take care. I'll talk to you later. In 5, 4. Wishing you the best whenever you're watching this, whether you're here in 2022 or some other time or dimension. Signing out. We're all connected.